I'm a physical therapist from Dreyer Physical Therapy Institute, and this is Matt. He's going to be our subject today. Today we're going to show you a couple different traditional, just very basic yoga poses that you can do to help maintain the strength and flexibility gains that you achieved in a rehabilitation program through physical therapy. There are many different types of yoga, so just be sure that you speak with your physician or your physical therapist before engaging in a program such as this. So we're going to start by having Matt get onto all fours. Starting on all fours is a great position that you can use to transition between the different yoga poses that I'll show you today. So go ahead and lay all the way flat on your stomach. The first one that we're going to start with is called upward facing dog. So go ahead and push your hands into the mat and just lift your chest off. You're keeping your hips down as much as you can, but they are going to come up a little bit. This one might mimic something that you learned in physical therapy, like a prone press up. It's really good for maintaining spine health and keeping your back happy. So you're going to get a nice good stretch in here. You want to make sure you relax the buttock muscles, keep your neck in a good neutral position, and make sure you're not locking out your elbows. The next one we're going to show you is downward facing dog. So go ahead and tuck your toes, dig those into the ground, and then you're going to press from your hands and press all the way up, bringing your hips to the back of the room. So with this one, you just want to be cautious if you have any past history of shoulder or elbow issues. Just check with your physical therapist first before you do something like this. This one is a great stretch for your hamstrings and your calf muscles, as well as your low back. So it's going to help maintain that flexibility that you achieved in physical therapy. With this one, you just want to make sure that you're keeping your neck in a good neutral position, not locking out those elbows, and really hinging here at the hips and drawing them back towards the back of the room, trying to keep a nice flat back here. Another way that you can modify this, if this is a little bit too much of a stretch and you feel like your heels aren't getting to the floor, you can actually bend your knees one at a time and do more of a pedaling action to help relieve some of that pressure, and it's also a little bit more of an active or a dynamic stretch for the back of your legs. Good. And then keep your arms up and go ahead and move forward. The next one we're going to do is go into a high plank position. You might recognize this from physical therapy if they had you doing any type of planks for abdominal muscular control. So this is a great core stability exercise for your hips, your back muscles, and your abdominals, again, to keep your spine healthy. With this one, just make sure your neck is in a nice neutral position. Pick this up a little bit here, and just don't lock out those elbows there. Good. And then go ahead and come back to all fours. I'm just going to have him come back to all fours before I then have him stand up. And then go ahead and stand up for you. The next one we're going to do is called the tree pose. This one you can use for balance. So what I'm going to have you do is take your right foot and just place it on the inner part of your leg right there. Good. So with this one you can modify it in a couple different ways. You could either leave the foot on the floor a little bit, or you could bring it up even higher into the inner part of the thigh if they have a little bit better balance. You just want to make sure with this one that you're really squeezing the buttock muscle on the left side that you're standing on and not letting this right hip drop or letting it hike up too high. You can add a challenge by bringing your arms into it. So go ahead and bring those overhead. Bring your palms together. So that's going to add a little bit more balance, proprioception, and then you can even challenge it even more by closing your eyes. Good. The last pose that we're going to show you is the chair pose. So go ahead and face forward. This pose might be similar to something you've done in physical therapy, such as a hip hinge exercise. So go ahead and reach your arms forward, and then just go ahead and sit back like you're sitting in a chair. With this one, you want to focus on really hinging at the hips, keeping a nice flat back here, not letting your knees go in front of your toes, and then bring your arms down. You can modify it if it's too challenging with your arms up. Just bring your arms back down to your sides. And that was the last pose that we have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you learned something helpful. Join us soon for the next newsletter tutorial.